underway. The Cobras will be looking for a fast start here, Scotty. They have proven that in a few of their round games, as well as a quarter yesterday, being up to the task. So it will be definitely a big battle, this one here in the boys' semi-final.
Yeah, so first possession for the Central Queensland Bulls. Jardel Bob will play it. Steps back in. Good cover defence on the inside. And a bit of a shot there as Bob threw the ball. Now, really interesting results last night in the quarterfinals in the 18 boys. All Pool A teams lost. So we're down to Pool B teams. These two teams did come up against each other in the rounds, and the Bulls got the victory there, 7-4 over the Brisbane Cobras. As we see, last touch coming in, Wong from half, gets on the outside. Bob really having to get onto the skates there to make the touch. So, yeah, really interesting. New South Wales Combined High Schools going into their quarterfinal last night, undefeated. Brisbane Cobras knocked them off in Bristol Paint's extra time, 3-on-3 drop-off. Wow, it really sets up an awesome day of semi-finals here in the 18 boys.
It does, doesn't it? That game there was absolutely ridiculous. We were up in the grandstand, actually, and it was happening out on field 3, I believe, and everyone here was trying to peek over the top of the stadium field and went all the way to the wire.
Yeah, plenty of drama in that one. And as mentioned, the second semi-final in the 18 boys taking place out on field 2 at the moment is the Queensland Schools secondary schools team taking on the Hunter Western Hornets. The Hornets also winning at the death last night over CCC. So drama-filled so far throughout the finals here in the 18 boys. We'll keep an eye on the scores and bring them through to you in the Queensland Secondary Schools game versus the Hunter Western Hornets. This one is going to be an absolute crackerjack game between the Cobras and the Bulls. Both teams. Sorry, James.
No, that's right, Scotty. They're just testing themselves out at the moment to start this game. It's back and forth, few chances in attack for both sides, but I think it's who weathers the storm early on in this semi-final, who gets under control to begin the game, will set the tone.
Laurie from half offloads. McMeekin picks up meters in the midfield as they now head towards the right-hand side of the field to get changes on. Ethan Wood going down the sideline, but the penalty has been picked up. Touch and pass call on the on-field referee, Jordan Randall. Good field position here off the penalty for Brisbane. To strike early. Tahora Chase has had an awesome tournament for the Cobras. And a mistake in the play the ball. Good contact. And sees the changeover back to the CQ Bulls. And Tana Martin doing a good job coming into the touch there to force the error. As Boswood heads over and another mistake. And you were spot on with your comment before, JC, about both teams just working their way in at the moment. There's a little bit of early semi-final jitters on both sides of the park here.
There is. Cobras now have a really good chance with that turnover to kind of slow things down and steady the ship a bit and dictate how this game is played out in the first half early on. If they can get one up against CQ, they'll take that confidence and ride with it. We've seen in a few of their games, they start really fast and they're up-tempo in the box and really loud, and they thrive off that energy. There's a ball from Bowman right to
beautiful.
Opens up.
Yeah, they're going to point to the spot as well, as you call. Bowman Jackson Jacobs throwing one on an absolute dime, and it will be the first points here in the semi-final to the Brisbane Cobras.
What a ball, just hanging up in the air and well picked off. I think it's Schaefer there in the link. Great take and found the ground really, really quickly to open us up here on the scoreboard. Scotty, 1-0 Cobras.
And a little mistake in the play the ball as well. The touch had been made, but as he was going down, Ethan Wood to play the ball lost possession of the footy. I think that's a good call from the on-field referees. Didn't really have the football in control in the play the ball. As Brisbane will get some changes onto the field. Kieran Warren crabbing across field and chases back onto the park. Steadies his ship, goes nice and straight through the midfield. Ben Ross picks up, goes early ball release. The execution of the pass just wasn't quite there for him, but right idea.
A little bit more height on that pass, it would have been interesting. Heath Crawford, the winger, had a bit of space to work with, but it's always hard to tell. The CQ Bulls, pretty good defensive shapes. They look to check the ball and using most of that space on the far side of the field.
And the right-hand side, Ethan Wood picking up meters. As they release around the halfway line, Tana Martin skips, Holds it. He's in acting half, has to unload. Does so. Last touch now. Again, off the right foot. Plays it out the back. They get it through the hands. That's a huge touch coming in and putting massive pressure on Heath Crawford. Gives a little shot for his effort as well.
Right in the shoulder too. Great strike. It needed to be made. The footwork from Martin set that play up, and they nearly had that overlap, but it was a good defensive read from Crawford, making it well known that he's out there on that right edge for the Cobras, so he'll be making the CQ attack question throwing that way again.
Penalty here to Brisbane. They couldn't capitalise. They're the CQ Bulls. Over the halfway line they go. Wong. Nice little dish off to Ayla. On the front foot here as Zane Miller comes onto the park. Ben Balin sweeping around the back as well. Receives the ball now. Linking back up with Zane Miller in the middle. Miller, left foot. Goes against the grain, slams it down, flicks it back to the halfway line. And the Brisbane Cobras, they've come out all guns blazing. This feels a little bit similar to an earlier game that they played against Queensland Secondary Schools where they came out all guns. They went 3-0 up in that one. They're almost there. 2-0 up on the scoreboard against the Bulls.
They're on pace with that game, that's for sure. But it's Zane Miller here for the second try. Crunching off the left and the slam down early in the game to score Brisbane Cobras' second try. Puts them in a commanding position, but in saying that, Scotty, it is very early. Anything can happen. That's Bob. Short ball picked off. Here we go. He's going down length of the field, coming to halfway. Concedes the touch there, Miller, but the Cobras on the front foot.
Yeah, straight back on here, Brisbane. This will give him a good opportunity to make some changes as well. They got to carry on this momentum towards the back end of the set. Jackson Jacobs back out onto the park. Ben Ross and Chase as well. Plays it on the 7. Looping ball over the top. Touch has been made. They're pointing. Yes, good defence there. Kai Russell. They'll come back into the midfield for the touch and pass. Wow, they're lighting it up here, Brisbane.
They are. They have all the momentum at the moment. CQ will be wanting to stop it, but I tell you what, that touch from, even though I think it might have been a forward pass or a touch and pass, that touch from Russell there from CQ on the right edge needed to be made.
And CQ just happy to put the ball through the hands and finish it on their side of the field. They'll turn attack into defence. They need to contain Brisbane, and they're going to do it here on touch 1. Sloppy played the ball there from Bowman Jackson Jacobs. Bit of space and numbers out here on the right-hand side. If they want to put it through the hands, they'll put the brakes on and come back in towards the midfield. Ethan Wood would play the ball, step in. Full set of 6 here attacking the Brisbane line. As the Cobras play, the Bulls played, I should say, McMeekin and Jackson Chews. Having a dive at the line.
Great touch there from Chase coming across.
Finter from half. And the Bulls looking to set up towards the back end of their set. They look to attack down the short side and just comes out of the hands there of Ethan Wood. Had one little bo peep at the defensive line of the Cobras. Jackson Jacobs now strolls forward, and Ross does the same, trudging towards the halfway line. Laban, ball in one hand, plays it.
Got a bit of momentum here, Scotty.
Yeah, Wong from half, picks up, switches, comes off the fingertips there of Tortorera. Turn the ball over, can't capitalise in that set.
No, the last few touches there, the Cobras seem to be getting a little bit of rhythm coming off the box there. In the last few touches, looking for a strike touch, couldn't quite find the mark. So we see CQ, though, taking in a good little roll into the line. It's Martin trying to zip around the defence there. Not to be, though.
2-0 on the Paint Away scoreboard. Cobras with the early lead in this 18 boys semi-final. Wong down the sideline. Meters from Moran yet again. Gets him on the front foot when he comes onto the field. Nice work, Van Balen gets away from one. Miller scoops it with the right hand, skips, jinks, little space. Holding, just running out of real estate on the right hand side. End up going over the sideline there as Aria Alia.
Good catch there, tough one, but as you said, Scotty, ran out of room. As the Cobras defence gets up, puts the pressure on. Thought he might have thrown that there, the CQ player, but he did well to notice that the far side of the Cobras defensive line was up. Held the ball and picked the right option.
Jardel Dishes, gets himself into acting half, goes the early release as they attack down the right-hand side of the field, getting away from one defender, getting away from two defenders. And it is the first try on the board for the CQ Bulls. Not much doing out there, just a miscommunication in defence, it seems, as we have a look at the replay.
So we see Bob give it back as well. Tommy Green, I believe it is, who just slides through the gap between the middle and the link and gets CQ's first try. That's massive for their confidence, Scotty.
Yeah, they needed that. Just a little bit of a kick to get them started here in the semi-final. Just with margin back down by 1. 2-1 on the Pain Away scoreboard. Pain Away, Australia's #1 joint and muscle spray and topical pain relief cream. Inside the 7 here is Chase. Loops over the top. It's taking a deflection off one of the CQ Bulls. Another full set of 6 to the Brisbane Cobras.
Be interesting to see what they try to set up here in the attack. The Cobras, they've got Bowman in the right-hand link. Very dangerous, as we know, on the right to left pass. They might try to go static play. Ben Ross with the ball, jinking around. Doesn't like what he sees, though.
Comes back and plays it outside the 7. Tahara Chase will play it. They go down the short side. Oh, just slipping out of the hands. Would have been thinking about having a little jink towards the line. Jardel picks up good meters on the first touch. CQ on the front foot. Laurie, it's the same on the second. There's Green, the try scorer. Heads over to the interchange area as the changes come onto the park here for the Bulls. Wood plays it on last. Picked up from McMeekin. Offloads. They can't connect out on the right-hand side of the field.
Ball to ground there. Bit of relief from the Cobras. Came down to a flick pass. Would have been impressive if it came off or went to the hands. But now Cobras need to do the hard work to get out of their end.
It's ball movement from Brisbane. Doing the hard yards here, trying to get forward. Laban, ball in one hand over the halfway line. One more to come here for Brisbane. Nice pick up and go from Wong. Looking for that switch back on the inside again. And Drayden Laban. They will get a penalty though. The back end of their set, and that hurts CQ. Players offside.
So we can see some of the vision from the sidelines. The players really putting in 100% here. Scotty, a few hands on knees from the Cobras boys. You can tell it's semi-finals footy. Oh, interesting one. I thought it might have been a play through. It's called back though for the touch.
Nice touch made by Ethan Wood. Hayden Wong plays it. Laban, the bright orange boots, retrieves back out. And link back up with Hayden Wong, who sends it back out to Laban. Nice ball movement from Brisbane. Moran dishes, comes back towards Moran. Good defence on the inside. Jackson Shoes coming across to make the final touch. Last one here for Brisbane. Out to Hayden Wong, the dancing feet. He'll finish it off on the right-hand side of the field. CQ Bulls restart.
If there's a place to end it at the end of the set, if there's not much doing, it's generally towards your own box side, and we saw that from the Cobras there, putting a little bit of pressure on CQ to try to work it all the way to the other side. Earlier in the year at the National Touch League tournament, we saw that, another matchup between the Cobras and the Bulls, and that was a clear tactic that the Bulls really capitalised in that grand final, and it ended up making a big difference in the end result of that game.
Brisbane doing it tough on the first touch, getting a little bit more meterage on the second. Laban, good contact. There's Wong. This is 4. Jackson Jacobs, good meters coming into the last. Then Baylor now just
not sure if they're aware of the touch count, Scotty.
But good job at the end of it. Even though the last touch was coming, Van Balen just kicking away and picking up some cheap meters on the right-hand side. Finishes them off right in the corner as well. It's now CQ chancing their hand with a little bit of ball movement. Changes will come onto the field as they look to come more central with Choose. Bob, he'll get himself into half, picks up, goes that early release yet again. And coming off the right foot, looks like a little bit of an air swing, and I think it might be back-to-back tries from Tommy Green. He's got the CQ Bulls right back into this match and level pegging on the scoreboard.
How's that for a sharp try, as well as we see the fast drive coming in. Bob, quick release out, has Cobras on the back foot. Hard to readjust and get in a good defensive position there, and it pays off. The speed of that attacking play from CQ proving the difference.
2 tries apiece, 5 minutes left in the first half here in the semi-final of the 18 boys division. All Cobras to start this game going 2-0 up, back-to-back tries from the Bulls. Levels us, and we'll see another repeat set to Brisbane. Hands in the ball to Hara Chase and Ben Ross in the midfield. They come out to the right-hand side with Laban. Ross sweeps, sends it back to Chase, who withdraws back outside the 7. They play it within the zone now. Ben Ross going in, and the touch is made.
It's clear from Cobras they're utilising the sweeper plays where they send someone around. They tried the C1 play or a link sweeper early that set and had Benny Ross coming back open side.
Ross skips away from one. Laban plays it. Chase picks up from half. Winds up early. And touch made in the corner. A little bit of finger pointing going on there between the 2 wingers. Heath Crawford, very vocal. And we got the ball down first. Ross comes back out to Crawford. Sends it back infield. Now just pushing the extra pass and just causes them to lose a little bit of meterage off the back end of it as well. Ball down is the call. So we have a look at the replay here. Chase, let's have a look. Good job to get it down. I think it's a good call. You can see the sideline referee there, Jordan Randall. He's Johnny on the spot. He went straight to the hand.
Oh, that's tight, isn't it? Very close. Crawford getting up confident.
He thought he had him. And we'll see a penalty here to the Bulls.
Cobra's not happy with that. Thought they were in a good position for that touch, but not to be. Massive set coming up from now. A little bit of ill discipline. Great touch close to the line. No.
Oh, yeah, there's a bit of a conflict. Oh, no.
Oh,
the
that
drama. Jordan Randall, what are you doing to us, son? He was about to back up and point to the spot, and then we made the touch. There might have been a little bit of communication from the sideline referees. Oh.
Got us on the edge of our seats up here.
Absolutely. It was a touch. It was a try. Back to the touch. Here we go. They come to the open side. Good defence. Chase makes the touch. Angus Gabriel back on the 7. Decent contact starting to come into some of these touches as well from both teams. As Ethan Wood plays it inside the 7, receives it back, tries to dive in between. Nice defence on their line. And Wood, he's a little bit ginger to get back up into the defensive line. He's making his way back there now. The Cobras, they're just straight back onto the football and trying to get back down the other end.
There's no mucking around there. It's good. Here's that little sneak play down the sideline.
Oh, no. They're going to take him away. It's an interchange infringement. Jordan Randall again in the thick of it here on the sideline. Wow. It was almost there to take. Riley Manning had his hands out and it just squeezed through to Hayden Wong. Let's have a look and keep an eye on the interchange area.
How many of the plays coming back for a 7-on? Just out of the frame there. We miss it as we see Wong dart away. Trying to get that little sneaky sideline play. It's a trick play that a lot of teams are utilising these days.
Jardel from half. Goes away from Martin. Throws a big bomb out on the outside and hits it to an absolute tee. But the touch has been made from Darius Young. Johnny on the spot. Great line run again from Riley Manning as we have a look. Look at the ball out here.
That is a perler. And what a touch.
Yeah, it was just difficult. I think he was catching it leaning away, which just left his legs exposed. But that's good defence awareness there from Young. Just to know, he didn't need to go for exactly where the ball was. That's where his boot was, put his hand out, made the touch.
Fantastic try-saving effort there from the winger from the Cobras. Needed to be made. It was a ripper ball from Jardel Bob, right in that sweet spot on the wing. But Scotty, with 45 remaining in the first half, this is a nail-biter so far.
Yeah, absolutely. Both teams can't be separated. Still 40 seconds left on the clock, as mentioned. So probably one final play here for the CQ Bulls. Can they strike right before the halftime break? They'll definitely be taking momentum going into the second half as they go away from the sweeper to the open side, and they just run straight into defence there. Crawford coming up and making the touch. Boswood holds it, plays it. Tom Green goes a little short ball. They can't connect. 10 seconds on the clock. And the Cobras will just take their time. They won't do anything too fancy here as the halftime break is imminent.
There's a lot of chat from the Cobras box, just trying to settle it down. They know that stop there defensively was a massive play in this contest. And rather than conceding at half-time, they take a draw and will be happy with that, the Cobras.
Yeah, absolutely. Scores locked up here in the semi-final in the 18 boys. Strong start from the Cobras, but the CQ Bulls did a great job to hit back. We will take a break and be back with the second half action here in the all-important 18 boys semi-final. Who's going to go to the grand final later on this afternoon? We'll be back with the final 20 minutes to find out.
It came down to a few attacking plays from either team rolling into the line. That was the difference. CQ really thriving off that fast roll, looking to play live at the line. Bob being in one of the commanding positions here as we see Cobras attacking.
And Jackson Jacobs goes the early ball, just dips down in front of the number 14 here on the left-hand side, Heath Crawford. He's been in the thick of things throughout the first half.
Interesting battle here on the sideline here, Scotty Crawford and Russell. Two big wingers in the game. We saw a little bit of a heated contest on the far side early on. Be interesting to see how that unfolds in the second half.
As Ethan Wood comes onto the field. They go back to Wood now, catches it, ball in one hand behind him, threads it out to the left-hand side. Mitchell Kuehl finishes it off for the Bulls. Brisbane now coming out of their end of the field, heading towards the interchange area to get some fresh legs out onto the park. Chase, was the touch made there? No, it wasn't. It just threw him off a little bit. I think Angus Gabriel losing his footing coming into the touch. He was there to make the touch, all of a sudden there he wasn't. Tahara Chase there placing the ball down without being touched, which gives the ball back to the CQ Bulls. Field position for them. Ethan Wood will dish from half, can't get it up. Can't pick it up cleanly from that acting half position.
Few players just losing their footing, both in attack and defence here. Choosing the difference, just throwing the other team off. Cobras easy meters transitioning over the 10 here. They'll get a really good crack at the line.
Miller linking up with Van Balen in the midfield. Miller picks up, scoops with the right hand. There might be a little opportunity for a pop back. Ayala linking back up with Jackson Jacobs. And Van Balen will take it to the line and finish it off. It'll be a touch and pass, which we'll see the CQ Bulls tap and restart, coming off their 7-metre line. Good meters on one. Jackson Chews. Changes come on. Sorry, JC.
He had really good meters in the first half, Scotty. Established a lot of the forward momentum for the Bulls. Chews as well, and will be looking to do a similar role in the second half. He's one of their go-to players, I think, that is crucial for their attacking segment of the game.
Good meters on one from Zane Miller, getting away from the CQ defender. Ooh, there was half a chance of going over the mark. And play on is the call. Laban, Famui just sticks the ball in one hand, casual as you like. Ben Ross now back out onto the park. Chase having to reach for it from half. Sets, a beautiful, flat and hard rocket pass, and it comes off the chest there of Drayden Laban. Threw the head back as well. He knew that was half a chance. He was straight through. He catches that, he's going under the post.
I think it is, and it's just a ball to ground too, Scotty, so it wasn't a forward pass either. It was an absolute rocket. Randall down on the ground. He's had a tumble.
Everything's happening out there for Jordan Randall. Straight back to his feet, though. And controlling things in the midfield. Bulls now over the halfway line. Chase. Tanner Martin, I should say, from half. Holds it, pumps. Boswood does the same. They just can't get the final one over the top of the head there. Cody Laurie. Good defensive pressure coming in to snuff that one out.
Needed to be made. They created an overlap there. Just a bit too much for the Bulls to get the ball out there. Out wide is good cover defence from the winger to put the pressure on, make it a difficult pass.
Got a CQ Bulls player down in backfield here at the moment, so they're a little bit exposed as we see heavy contact between two players. They managed to get back. It was the number 14, Lachlan Finter. It's going to go against the Brisbane team with ball in possession. A little bit of heavy contact coming into the play the ball.
Yeah, that helped the CQ Bulls there. It was a ruck infringement from the Cobras. So they're saying it was a hooking call where it just gets caught up, as we see here on the replay. Not a whole lot in it. Grabs the CQ player down and brings him down with him. Chase did. But they were in all sorts there, the Bulls as well. They had down to 5. Cobras had a really great chance.
As Bob comes back into the midfield, and Tommy Green couldn't link up. They had a pretty deadly combination in the first half, combining Jardel Bell finding Tommy Green for 2 tries for the Bulls. Good meters down the sideline. Kieran Moran, and having to come back to the mark here, just slows things up. Todawera will play it just over the halfway line. Schaefer steadies the ship. Van Balen.
Trouble with Miller in
Miller.
half.
Yeah, Miller picks up, comes off that right foot, comes off the left foot. Play on. Bob was out of position. He was called offside. Miller running through the in-goal area. He's just looking for anybody. Someone. Van Balen finally clears and puts it down in the corner. Well, nice work there from Zane Miller. Jardel getting called offside in the midfield. Played advantage and took full advantage.
He did. It was borderline here. We see the touch being nearly made. It would have been very close to that 7. Miller sneaking through to the in goal. And have a look at Van Balen. Does very well to get away from his man. There's a lot of people in motion there. Bit of confusion on that touch, but Miller, definitely one of the go-to players from the Cobras. Had a very big first half. Great work from Van Balen, though, to get free.
You can see the huddle there. Coach Chris Ross just getting the instructions out there, although they're up by 1. You know, this is a pivotal moment in the game for Brisbane. A good response from them. After being 2-0 up in the early stages in the first half, the Bulls coming back at them. And it is Brisbane who strike first in the second half as the Bulls try to dive in between middle defence. That's a good defensive effort there, defending their line. And that's exactly what they would have wanted after scoring points down the other end.
100%, Scotty. Is Benny Ross there making the touch on the line. He's had a few in the first half too, but off that live play, it was an ML setup that the Bulls were looking for there. Benny Ross just getting high off the defensive line and cutting that one off. Oh, no.
Now,
this will be interesting.
Yeah, because it looked like there was almost like a collision at the same time, or the ball was just going to hit the deck, but then all of a sudden Ethan Wood just getting the hands out onto the footy, having a couple of snatches at it.
It's almost like it caught him off guard because it came straight to him there for a second and wasn't really expecting it, but unfortunate. Wong live at the line.
Oh, on the inside. Kieran Moran slapping the hands. He had an open run to the line if the inside ball could get found, but we see an incorrect play. The ball, they're going to give the ball back to the CQ Bulls. That just relieves a little bit of pressure after looking dangerous attacking the set. And they're the Brisbane Cobras. Bulls will take this opportunity to get some changes out onto the field. Good meters coming out of the interchange box. Boswood links up with Martin. Boswood will get himself into half. Goes early ball to Martin, going across field, trying to get in between middle and link defence. Storch on their line there, Brisbane.
It was a good stop. Again, it's kind of gone into that battle of the midfield here. Both teams getting across their sub-box, looking for interchanges. The pace of this game is very fast, Scotty. It's what you want to see for a semi-final.
Absolutely. And there's another interchange infringement here from Brisbane. 7 players on as they were making changes.
Yeah, I think they've got them there for just exiting the field before they made the sub-box, which is an incorrect change. And the player coming on too early, which creates that 7 on the field. Obviously can't do it, but a little bit of ill discipline there for the Cobras. Just need to work a bit harder. Long ball out wide.
No. It was a beautiful take. Had some work to do. Mitchell Kuehl. It was just a little bit of a bobble off the fingertips as he reeled it in, trying to get it down before going over the sideline. As we have a look at the replay here, out in front, did such a good job to that point, but realised as he was coming down, the sideline was right there. And almost points from the Bulls.
That would have been a miraculous finish if he had have just held on to it. He did all the hard work, Scott. He had the right hand up almost with Odell Beckham one-hander. And it's just transitioning it to the second hand where it just couldn't go to ground. You see a long ball. Come back
forward. Though. Yeah, forward out of the hands. And will be the call. Space out here on the left-hand side of the field though for Brisbane. It's worth a shot. Bulls, they'll restart with Boswood in the midfield. Martin unloads from half. They'll be getting some changes onto the park. Here they come. They'll look to flow on out the back. Nice transition as Jardel comes onto the field as well. Look to get himself in there. Green getting right into the 7 and just looking to pop back out. And the touch was made. So it was good flow into the line, but just probably pushed too hard into that 7-metre zone. Just left himself a little bit exposed on the final touch.
Yeah, you're right, Scotty. It was a tactic there from the Cobras to draw all the way back towards their try line, just to slow down that flow, give them a little bit more time to get settled, and it just killed their momentum. So it'll be interesting to see if that's a tactic that the Cobras are trying to do, is just draw back to the line.
Edward Allott finishes off on the final touch. It's a half-decent finish to the back end of their set. They were struggling a little bit to get down the other end as they push the pass. Good job there, Connor Gooley, to hold that one. Keep possession here for the Bulls as they get into the Cobras' end of the field now. Last touch for them. Stacked on the short side. Flick, which was forward out of the hands. Few referees happy to say play on. Oh, chancing their hand. Loose pass. And they're trying to shift it out to the left-hand side of the field.
Yeah, high percentage play there. Just when they had the turnover. One of the new additions of the rules here as well in touch football is if you take an intercept, the count actually goes to 0. So they had an extra touch to work with, Scotty, and they just chanced their arm a little bit too much and see the ball to ground. Huge opportunity for the Bulls, and just like that, the short ball as well. They cross. It's Laurie over in the link, and that one is a big game changer.
Yeah, our old Bowman Jackson Jacobs, I think he might have been the man who threw the loose pass to start with, and you could see prior to this play, he was head down and caught flat-footed here coming in. Had to make a play at it. In the outside defence there of Heath Crawford going out on his wing player. A look at the reverse angle. CQ make them pay for the mistake. Lock the scores back up on the Painaway scoreboard. 3 tries apiece. Still a stack of time. 8.5 to go here in this semi-final. Lavenall might have been the link hole. Potentially Luke Schaefer coming into open space. Pass did come out of the hands forward.
We did see that early in the first half too. Schaefer already crossing the line for a try early on from a link hole. So we know he's dangerous there. And Drayden throwing the ball right to left. Has a very good arm on him too.
Bulls having to flow onto the field. Deep at the back end of their box. Martin skips. And it'll be a touch and pass penalty. Much doing there for the Bulls.
There's a bit of chat happening over in the CQ box here. I don't know if they'll be completely happy with how they're transitioning from defence into attack, Scotty, but you know, in the likes of their coaching box as well, with Gary Bembo over there, spiritual leader of that team, very inspirational. He'd be sending that message and making it very clear.
Ben Badland plays it. He will head over to the interchange area. Jackson Jacobs will take the touch. Ross. Tahara Chase back out onto the field as well. Ross and Chase working in the midfield. Nice little exchange of passing, and they will get a penalty as well.
That one hurt, Scotty. There wasn't much doing there for the attack, and the Cobras just checking the ball around, and it was the Bulls not moving forward. There he was on the screen, as we saw. Big Gary Bembo. Chase diving.
Yeah, almost pushing the ball into the defence there. Good job, Connor Gooley holding the line. Cobras putting the ball through the hands as they go away from the sweeper. Short ball to Chase. Oh, geez, he had a little bit of work to do. The referees are going to say the ball was down first. Kai Russell coming across to try and make the touch. Well, he made that almost look harder than what it needed to be. It was there, and then it was almost like he realised, I've got to get the ball down here, and I need to get it down real quick.
He had a lot of work to do. As we see on the replay, the Cobras, we know that they set up the sweeper play, so we're seeing traditional link sweeper coming around here. Against the grain, though, Benny Ross delivers to Moran. And what about the finish? He's almost facing the opposite in goal and manages to sneak it down.
Well, it might have helped him in the end. We take one last look at the replay. Because he had the 360, it gave him view of Russell coming in and putting the pressure on, and that's when he really realised, geez, I've got to get this ball down. And luckily he did, because it puts the Cobras back up in front. 4-3 on the Painaway scoreboard. Under 6 minutes to go now as we see a little sink over the top and off the fingertips of Tommy Green coming through. There he is on screen.
He's the player they're trying to find. Already has double this game. Not so much having an impact here in the second half, but it was up to Crawford there, the Cobras winger, to shut that one down. Very difficult play to stop, Scotty, because as a winger, you're already kind of shaping to go out, looking for that long ball out wide. And it just falls in between the middle and the link. So very dangerous play there. Good read, though, from Crawford.
Hayden Wong, last touch here for Brisbane. Crabbing across field. They just want to finish their set off. They finally do. Bob and Jackson Chews making the touch. Pretty good position here to start their set. This will be the second touch and they're already into Brisbane's end of the field. Jardel crabs across field. He'll take a breather. Changes onto the park here for the Bulls. As Gabriel skips away, plays it. McMeekin sniffing around, gets into acting half. Out ball off the fingertips, and Russell having a snatch at it. Did come off the hands though of the Brisbane outside defender Zaria Alia on this left-hand side of the field. Another full set of 6 here for the Bulls.
Zaria just did enough to disrupt that pass there. Russell would have been hoping that it went over the hands and he was walking over the line for a try. Good
Martin,
defence.
Midfield, oh, solid contact coming in. I don't think it was anything over vigorous. Just coming down, trying to reach for the line at the same time. Down on the ground, as we have a look at the replay, you can see him getting low and coming in over the top there, Luke Schaefer.
Yeah, it was an incidental one, I think, just a bad angle falling and got caught up.
Slade McMeekin, the young man on screen, just going out the back, being assisted by Harry Griffin, Queensland Men's Open representative. Go down the short side this time. Bob ball in one hand. Touch is made. And fifth and final here for the CQ Bulls. Jardel plays it. Steps back in. Has he got a little bit of footwork? No, last touch. Might not have heard the call there from the referee. And the Cobras straight back onto the run here with Miller. And that's come off the foot of Tana Martin. Miller looking to go for the quick tap. He'll come back to the mark. Just over 3 minutes left in this one. Cobras up by 1. And probably the most important thing is that they've got the football right now and they're in possession. They can control and dictate things a little bit in this set.
They can, Scotty. They don't want to slow things down too much and to hope for this one try lead. They really need to put it to the Bulls now and take a commanding front foot lead. It's up to the CQ Bulls defence, though. What have they got on offer?
Jackson Jacobs goes short and flat to chase through the middle. And they make them pay, and that is a really handy margin now with 2 minutes and 40 seconds left on the clock. The Brisbane Cobras have gone up by 2 in this 18 boys semi-final.
Huge stage of the game as we see on the replay. Bowman just holding it up, digging into the line. And I think it was the effort and the last minute pass to chase that really hindered the CQ defence, made them second guess it and opened up that gap in the middle.
Big set here for the Bulls. I feel like they need to score. Last one for them, Martin, early release. Not much doing for them here. They're trying to pop back over the top. They're going to return possession to the Brisbane Cobras.
Adventurous play that one, looking for the tap back inside. Good defence though from the Cobras, being able to read it. There's enough time on the scoreboard, Scotty.
There's space down here on the left-hand side as they get their changes onto the field. Ross just trudges upfield. Moran plays it. Hayden Wong. Oh, there's a little bit of a bobble in the play the ball, but that was 6 touch coming in. Jardel, casual as you like, flicks it from the acting half position. Tana Martin rolling forward here for the Bulls. A minute 20, Martin holds it. He'll get himself into half, gives early ball to Jardel, left to right, space out here. Russell got a bit of work to do and a great diving effort and touch made. Darius Young. Huge play from the young man. They're going to come back in the midfield for a penalty.
Playing advantage there, the referees. Very nicely done. Massive, massive touch though from the Cobras. Danger. Jardel live at the line.
Short ball hit to Martin, but coming in, Crawford makes the touch. Score update in the second semi-final. Queensland Secondary Schools well in control. 13-5 over the Hunter Western Hornets. As Bob plays it, they go short side. Bob from the line, he's got this one down. 30 seconds left on the clock. I think it's going to be too little too late now for the Bulls.
Very difficult task on offer here for the Bulls. Bob taking over and in control of the attack, as we see here in the replay. Skipping to the left-hand side of the field, just looking for a simple punish, just a drawback play going low at the line. Extremely dangerous in those situations, coming up with a try. Under 10 seconds to go, though. They need a turnover and quickly CQ.
Cobras doing a good job just holding the football. They don't need to chance their hand here. Hootie goes in the background. One last play. Benny Ross will just walk up and start shaking hands. And it will be the Brisbane Cobras who will progress through to the 18 boys grand final. They'll be taking on the Queensland Secondary Schools team later on this afternoon. What a match between these two teams. Only the one try separating them. Final score on the Pain Away scoreboard, 5-4 in favour of the Cobras. Good game, JC.
Very good game, exhilarating. It's what you want to see. All Queensland derby here in the semi-final of the 18 boys. Cobras just proving to be the better team. There wasn't much in it. It was neck and neck the whole way.